Konnichiwa, and welcome to the 139th podcast of the NC Rowan County Anime Group. My name is Robert Clown. I'm the co-president of this club. Today we're going to be doing some reviews about some animes. Not interviews, reviews about some animes that I've just recently watched. This anime was suggested to me by Brent from Otaku No Video, and it is called Neia Under 7. I went and I suggested the Rowan Public Library to pick up this animated series. And before I get started, back in the 1970s, there used to be a commercial that said, "I don't believe I ate the whole thing." Well, for me, I don't believe I watched the whole thing. Well, as far as this animated series, I took it all in one day and watched it all in one shot. And it took me a little bit of time. Recommended age for this anime for Neia Under 7, I would have to say the age of at least 12 up. The problem of it is this anime in some areas moves very slow. It's got some fun parts in it, very interesting parts, but I can't really see an 11-year-old going and watching this anime and having a great time with it because it just moves very slow. Overall, the animation is beautiful. I like the animation. Story-wise, like I said, it moves slow at some parts. Now, because it moves slow, it doesn't make it a bad anime. It's just that I'm probably more used to more faster-paced stories, and there are nice characters that I did connect with in the story. On a scale of 1 to 10, this is a B+ story, and it's alright. There's nothing wrong with it, and I'm going to be glad to return it back to the library the next day. Now, for my next anime that I'm going to talk about, this was actually shown on the Family Channel. It is called Monsters Rancher. Now, I do have some old 80 films VHS copies of this series, and believe it or not, they did complete this season out. There is an ending to this series. The animation quality is nice, music's nice. You got some basically a quest sort of story, and you've got this kid trying to assemble his team together and go after the evil Moo. You got a sort of a villain at first, starts out in the story named Pixie, and later on the character does change. So Monster Rancher was shown on the I think the Family Channel at one time. It's a nice little series for young kids about age 4 up would probably enjoy this series. For my next and final anime that I'm going to talk about today, this is called The Comics Party. And this was first put out by, I think it's still being put out, the first season by Right Stuff Video. And this is some of the animation to it. And to give you a little bit of a background about it, it deals with this young boy who's trying to draw danjoji. Now, that is a Japanese term. Danjoji is a type of form of comic book over there in Japan. Now, we have something kind of like this over here. We call it a fanzine, where it's just a limited run of the book, or, if you wanted to honor, let's say, some artist who, let's say, worked on Ian Gillian, you did the artwork in that sort of style and stuff, and you hand the copy over, and it sure shows respect to the person who did it. But remember, this is not to make money off of the product. This is just to show and honor the product. And we have things like fanzines and stuff, which allows young people to experiment and show their type of story writing and stuff. You can have a Doctor Who fanzine, you can have a Babylon 5 fanzine. Star Trek fanzines have been around for, good Lord, I don't know how long, ever since the show was created. So fanzines have been around in the United States forever. Now, if you ask me a question, Robert, when is North Carolina ever going to have a danjoji convention? Can't say, sadly. I don't know when we'll ever have one. If we ever get around to having it, it would probably be very small scale at first. Now, there is a fanzine convention called Media WestCon, and it's basically in Michigan, and that's the oldest one that I know of. And I think they're still going on, and they're still doing Media WestCon, and that's basically a fanzine convention. It's been set up for that. I would love to one day see somebody take the time and effort and try to put together a Danjoji convention here in North Carolina, but that is going to take quite a doing and quite an undertaking, even on a small scale. Because I know from personal experience, I've ran two mini-cons in the past, and I've been on countless committees on conventions, actually helped out with conventions, and even though I've been like a small little cog in the wheel, it's a lot of work, and it does take up a lot of time. Well, speaking of time, our next meeting will be December 4th. It will be our Christmas and anniversary party. We'll be meeting in front of the Books A Million at 4 o'clock. At 4:35, we're going over to member Tim Will's home to have our Christmas party and our 8th anniversary party. On January 7th through the 9th is Ichabod Con. Ichabod Bashi. I hope to see you all there, and looking forward to doing panels at this convention and have a wonderful time meeting people and reacquainting myself with some of the friends that I made at this last year's convention. Hard to believe we're almost out of this year. In February, I believe it's going to be, got a little piece of paper here. Okay, February 4th through the 6th is What the Hell Con. And then we're taking a group up there. We're taking a group up there, and hopefully we're going to have a great time. And after that convention, we're going to have a very important little meeting and see about making that the home convention or not. On February the 19th will be our next follow meeting. Now we'll be meeting in front of the Books A Million at 5 o'clock. At 5:30, we'll be leaving to go over to a member's home, and we will be watching the science fiction series, horror series, Gantz, which is not for little kids to watch. It's a very adult-themed anime. Well, this is it for now, and I wish you a very good day. Goodbye.